I mean, I think I just, after Gotland, I just really wanted to make a film that explored family and a family dynamic, but also like just the way we spend time with the people we know, with family and our loved ones, and just how this time is spent. What do we do? And also just explore time and how fleeting it is, and how kind of fast everything is moving. I had this kind of need to kind of capture it before it was over. So some of the images, for example, the opening of the film was shot many years ago. It's not like the normal process that I've had before with films. With The Love That Remains, it's more like filming something and reacting to the material or reacting to what I filmed, and then sort of rewriting or writing. So it's been a lot of fun, but it's also been kind of mysterious and open, you know, very much open and a little bit scary also. But it's very nice when something you're making yourself can surprise yourself. So I think that's sort of what you want and sort of hope for. So the Love That Remains really surprised me in many ways. No, but that's probably why. It's like the reason for wanting to do it was probably because I had this feeling that every year was moving faster, and my kids were sort of just growing so fast that I had this need to capture a certain energy that I saw, like a very raw energy that I saw, which was very beautiful, and I just wanted to capture it before it was gone, you know, before they grew up and just flew out of the nest and were starting to have their own life, you know. So, but I mean, how do you do that? I don't know. It's we did it by buying a film camera a couple of years ago. So we have a film camera, and then we use the short ends, which are like the leftovers of the film rolls from the film we did before. So I use that to kind of capture images and scenes and stuff in between the years where I'm writing. So these chapters before films or between films where I'm writing, I also film every week. So that's sort of the process that we have now. I mean, they were aware, and I mean the dialogue is written, and my oldest, my daughter Ida, she was the one who I gave her the scenes that I wrote, and then she worked with the boys, the twins, Grímur and Þorkels, and they did the scene together, and then they performed the scene for me, and then I sort of reacted to it or rewrote it a little bit or fixed it. So it was kind of like this kind of ongoing collaboration, seeing them perform it and then adjusting it for the scene or for the film.
Þú ert alveg nákvæmlega eins. Ekki alveg eins, en þá mjög ljótur.
Yeah, it feels like it's the most personal because it's kind of. I mean, it doesn't feel private. I mean, the how do you say it? The story or the narrative is very fictional, but it's very personal because it's kind of my surroundings, our surroundings. It's kind of the elements around the film. The chickens are our chickens, the horses are connected to us, the dog is our dog, and etc. So it becomes very personal, but it doesn't feel private that way. There's a different kind of, it's not about a divorce, or it's not about me and my wife and we're divorcing. It's more about this kind of capturing a certain energy and capturing a certain. I had this feeling of that the fundament of the film, like had to be real somehow, to be able to, that it would work. So we tried to use as much as we could in our surroundings. Yeah, I felt that was important. I think it's kind of like, I don't know if you have this feeling of like, when you're away from something, you have this yearning for something that was, or you, like, for example, if I'm traveling for a long time, I have this kind of desire to go back to something. And I think the landscape is a big part of that, this kind of desire to go back to your roots or the vastness of the landscape that you came from. If you're used to that, if you were born into that. And I think there's something about, I think, the vastness back home, and that's where I grew up, that I desire a lot, and I like being in. And I think me and my wife lived there because of that. That we wanted to we lived in the city for 12 years, and we just needed to go back. So it is important, and it is something that we use, like you see in the film, we use it for gathering berries or walking in the landscape or whatever it is. It is a big part of like the reason for we're living there. And the locations are spaces that we know very well. So it's locations we're visiting and we're revisiting. The last film I saw was Klut by Pakula, and which was great. And then I've been watching a lot of Robert Altman, which I really enjoy. I think when I was very young, it was a certain kind of filmmaker or film period, and then when I grew older, it was another kind. But I think for the writing, like what inspires me with writing is right now, I really like how, for example, the films of Cassavetes, how they kind of move and surprise you, but you still feel that they're written, but they're just kind of surprisingly written. I don't know what it is.